What's up, dude? Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, brother. So yeah, I've been coming to your classes quite a bit.
Yeah.
Meditation, sound energy, sound baths. It's all new to me.
Yeah.
Maybe like 6 months.
Yeah. A lot of people haven't heard a lot about it.
So tell us a little more about it.
So with the sound baths, with the crystal bowls, each one is tuned to a different chakra. And so you have at your root, you have C, and then the sacral is D, E, F, G, A, and B, third eye and crown. And yeah, so there's seven. And so just the vibrations of the bowls kind of go through and clear those energy centers. And
So it just kind of like sends energy out to you,
yeah,
like frequency.
yeah,
That's awesome. I didn't even think about seven different chakras. That's crazy. I mean, I would just come here, sit down at Sacred Energy, where you guys could all drop by.
Yeah.
And where he's over here every Saturday at 10. And just relax. And it's a little different because usually I do guided meditation
mhm,
where it tells me how to breathe. But I remember the first time I did it, it was kind of trippy. I remember when I did it last Saturday,
yeah,
it just gave me goosebumps. It just feels different, but also good at the same time.
yeah.
Like it's kind of like, okay, this is kind of right. It should be this way,
Mhm.
but I can't really explain it. Yeah.
No, I get that.
How do you explain that?
Um, I think because we are vibrational beings and like everything in the universe vibrates. And so as those healing sounds kind of move through our body, it helps like get rid of trapped energy that we may carry on through, like pick up throughout our day.
You mean like stress, anger,
Stress, yeah,
worry,
yeah,
things like that
all
are
of those
just so
things.
vibrating incorrectly, or the
Yes.
frequency is off a little bit. So are you telling me you're kind of using this to fine tune
Yeah.
people's frequency like you would fine tune a piano?
Yes, exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it works because after that, I had a great Saturday. Yeah, I went home, relaxed. I cooked lunch for everyone. I went out. I met a girl. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, hey, it works.
I can't guarantee that happens
I
for
mean,
everybody.
and she was blonde, blue eyes, so hey. I mean, but it does work. Like honestly,
Yeah.
it kind of like fixes. I mean, I started in the morning,
Mhm.
so I came in with a clean slate.
Yeah.
But the rest of the day was really enjoyable.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I
different
love
than
that.
meditating by myself.
Yeah.
Because I meditate about an hour and a half a day,
Yeah.
in the morning and when I sleep, and there was definitely, I just felt a little more centered.
Yeah.
Is that the word? Or
Yeah,
balanced?
that's a really good word for it.
That's a really good word. Okay.
Um,
And how else does this really help you?
I have had people actually um, talk about having like physical healing happen
Physical
throughout this
healing.
process. Yeah, I did a sound bath for a company, and I guess, well, one lady was talking about, kind of her experience, and then she just like stopped mid-sentence, and she looked at everybody else in the room. She's like, "My wrist doesn't hurt anymore."
Nice.
And I guess it was something that she had been complaining about for a couple of days,
Nice.
and just coming out of it, she didn't have any more wrist pain.
Well, that makes sense because if you're fine tuning someone's frequency, you're fixing
Yeah.
the error or the problem.
Yeah.
One thing that really, really stood out to me, Richard, was the last time when we were here. He never said this before, but you said, don't think of it as meditating and just not thinking. Think of it as like an hour-long journey.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
So in a journey type meditation or a journey experience, your subconscious can bring things up, and you'll get like a lot of symbology sometimes associated with it. You can have those visual representations, and so we trap a lot of energy within our bodies.
Okay.
And what the vibrations do is it helps that energy release so it can be let go. And so like in the case of that one lady, she had some energetic buildup in her wrist that was bothering her. And as that energy was released, her wrist felt better. So when energy that gets trapped is usually there due to an experience that we've had. And so as that energy moves through, we can experience what was behind that energy in the first place.
You mean like a certain feeling?
Yeah, it could be an emotion, something visual, like in your mind's eye, you could see like a situation.
Like just worrying.
Yeah.
Yeah, anxiety and things like that. And this just kind of unwinds it. That makes sense. It made me feel calm throughout the day. So, hey, where were these originated and when?
These, if we go all the way back to the beginning of like sound bowls, singing bowls, they have a deep Tibetan heritage.
From the Tibetan mountains?
Yeah. So the brass bowls and
Oh, the brass balls. Yeah, of course. The
Yeah,
Tibetan
so-
monks will use those.
So these are basically, and these are a new technology. I'm not entirely sure who first came up with the idea, but they're based on that same theory as those brass bowls.
Okay.
And the crystal bowls are just that. Like these are all crushed quartz.
Okay. So they're
And-
quartz.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they crush quartz into a powder, mold them, and fire them into the bowls.
That's awesome. And usually, how many do you work with? Or does it vary by healer,
I think it varies by practitioner.
practitioner?
I think base model
Base
people,
model.
they like to have their 7 so they can hit each of the chakras.
Nice.
When I first started, I just had 1 crystal bowl, 1 tongue drum, and like 1 brass bowl.
Okay.
And during that time, I did more of there was like 30 minutes of like guided meditation, bringing somebody into a journey because I had very limited
Yeah, that
tools
makes
to
sense.
play with.
Hey, you're working with what you have. I get it. So
Yeah.
using all of it, guided meditation,
Yeah.
sound baths, frequencies. Okay.
And then as I got into being able to use more bowls, I was able to do more with the sound, utilizing more tools. I picked up a flute and a drum and just had more sound to utilize. And so at that point, like I kind of became inspired I slowly like phased out the guided portion of it.
Nice. So you
And-
use the bowls to
Yeah.
guide the people in a sense
Yeah.
throughout the journey.
Yeah.
That's how I feel it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome because you didn't really say any words. I mean, you just said thank you in the beginning and thank you at the end. Other than that, it's just sound.
Yeah.
I gotta try this now. From the outside, right?
Yeah.
Like this?
Almost.
I just want to try really quickly. I have some more questions though.
All right.
Yeah. No, but
Oh,
yeah, you try. You
yeah.
tell me how to do it.
So it's just keeping a constant pressure on it. It's kind of the same concept as having water in a crystal glass and wetting your finger and going around the outside or the top of it. It's the same concept.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. How do you know which tune to play at what time? I already know the answer to this, but I think I do. You just feel it out.
I really just feel it out. And honestly, there's times when I'm in the middle of a sound bath thinking like, this is like the worst sound bath ever. Like,
Really?
Oh yeah.
Are you a perfectionist?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, yes, but not, not
That
with
makes
these.
sense.
But yeah, it just feels, let's be like, this just seems really boring, really repetitive and monotonous. Like,
Yeah.
I really hope that they're getting something out of it. And what's funny is those are the ones that people come up to me afterwards and say that was the best experience I've ever had.
Wow.
And so I learned pretty early on that it's not about me,
Yeah.
and just do what feels right in the moment. And even if it doesn't seem to me like much is being done, those seem to be the most profound experiences for people.
Interesting. Interesting. And you also said it's giving energy and
Yeah.
taking energy. It's changing energy.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that, if you could emphasize?
So with that, so a lot of my energy goes into playing. I will actually flow Reiki as I'm doing it, so that there's even a deeper energetic.
And for people that don't know what Reiki is,
Reiki
which
is
I'm a little, it's a little grayish for me.
yeah, it's energy healing.
Energy healing.
So yeah, so Reiki,
Isn't it with your hands though? Don't people like?
yeah, and it's no Japanese technique, and it's actually two words, Rei and Ki. And Rei is like the divine, and then Ki is energy. So like the translation is divinely
Divine
guided life force energy.
Okay.
So it's just flowing that Reiki, and people on some level can accept that or reject it.
Okay.
And they may not consciously accept it, but on some level of their being, they're like, yes, we need that, or no, let it go.
Let it go.
And that's one thing I love about Reiki too, is it is kind of a do no harm energy.
Nice.
And it's like, if somebody doesn't want it, it's not going to affect them. And if somebody does, then it will go in and it will heal and just work with their internal energy. So I'll channel Reiki as I'm playing the bowls as well.
Okay. And let's just say for someone that's never done it, they live in Utah, hypothetically speaking,
Right.
and they want to come to Sacred Energy to one of your classes, but they're afraid, they think they might get hurt. Is there any way someone could get hurt on this?
No.
No, this sounds.
Yeah, just sounds.
And vibrations.
Mhm.
There's no way. Okay. If anything, it's going to leave you better off than when you found.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good. Just want to clear that up too. 'Cause, I mean, some people just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with religion.
Yeah.
This is just about vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a scientific aspect to it? I've read about it, but do you know anything to it? Like where there's frequencies and sounds that heal people?
Just that. Like just the frequency, aligning frequency with the body.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because it does make sense. Because we all have a frequency, human beings, and you're tuning it.
Yeah.
Which ideally, logically speaking, is supposed to help you. So I mean, what it does, it can't harm you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Good. And you also said sometimes you get hired by corporations and people to hire you, right? If I leave your information on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. Cool.
I love doing events. I once did a bachelorette party.
Nice.
That was very interesting. It's like, half of them were like just really excited because they were like in this world, and and really excited to have a sound bath, and the other half is just like, so are you going to strip now? I'm like, no, that's not. We're not bringing that energy in. So that was a very interesting experience. I've had people hire me out for family parties.
Nice.
Go out and just set up in their backyard, and they'll lay on the grass. And
so you're mobile. You can do this anywhere. I mean, as long as you take the baths, that's all you really need. And the two, read all these sticks.
The wands, the mallets.
The wands. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then some of my most enjoyable experiences is actually working with recovery centers.
Really?
Yeah. And I was doing one regularly for a while. And it was funny because they would have like a group therapy session right before me. So like they'd come out, I'd come in and set up, and then they'd all come back in. And you could just feel when there was like a super intense group before, and like people were like not wanting to look at each other. You know, 'cause
Yeah,
they just
yeah,
have
yeah.
like some stuff go down,
Yeah, yeah.
and by the end of it, just feeling that energy completely shift, and it's like everybody is just like calm, and they're like just in that
Zone
space. Yeah, that
or more
zone.
centered,
Yeah,
more centered.
yeah, and just really helping them like release some of that anxiety that comes with, you know, getting through an addiction, going through those withdrawals, and it's just really, you could just feel them calm down. And
Okay,
those were some of my favorite experiences, and they were always
good,
so excited when I showed up after they'd
good.
experienced it.
Yeah, good, good. I'm thinking of getting one of those EKG things
Oh,
or EEG. Uh, no, cardio. No, EEG. Yeah, yeah, the EEG
okay.
thing where you put it on your forehead and it measures your brain waves. Do you think when you play, it will actually change your brain waves? Because I want to try that here.
I would love for you to try that here, because I do believe that it helps us get into that deeper state.
It definitely helped me, especially last Saturday when I was meditating. Like halfway through, I was thinking about my podcast. I was thinking about like a bunch of random things. And then you're like, oh, it's over. I'm like, what? What happened? So I did kind of like zone it. I think like the first half, I was like kind of, I haven't been here in a while.
Yeah.
But and then the second half, it just went like this,
Yeah.
like snap of a finger. So I think like I went to like a sweet spot,
Yeah.
the sweet spot where like time and space kind of cease to exist.
Yeah.
Temporarily, but hey, I mean, you know, I still went. Dude,
Absolutely.
you helped me
Yeah.
get there with the sound baths. So
And like part of the aspect of my sound baths is that drumming, which kind of serves two purposes. The one is it helps like just break up the energy so it can like flow.
mhm,
But the other one is that steady rhythm that I do
mhm.
has been shown to drop the brain into theta wave.
Really,
Yeah. And so kind of how they theorize it is it's basically because it's so like monotonous, just that
yeah,
single beat going, that your conscious mind is like, all right, I'm out.
yeah,
Come get me when this is over and there's something to look at.
mhm.
And so it really basically makes the conscious mind just go bye-bye, and then your subconscious can come up and
Okay.
you're in that deeper state.
Nice.
So it's sure, so it serves that dual purpose.
Well, my heartbeat, because I have a Fitbit, I checked it.
Mhm.
My heartbeat dropped like 20, 25 degrees, which is good. That means like the higher the stress, the more
Yeah.
heartbeat. So if I'm usually like at 70, it dropped to like around 50, 48.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty good.
Mhm.
So can you say it's a little more trance state in a sense? Does it put you in a little more of a trance state? Because I guess like if it's very repetitive, your conscious mind does check out.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's interesting then.
Absolutely.
Anything else interesting happened to you while you play these, or like maybe people have told you experiences?
Quite a bit.
Really?
I'm trying to go through and think. I don't know. There's times when I'm playing that I can just like see, and especially because it's a little bit darker. But like I can see like the energy flowing out from the bowls.
Like color?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and it's actually a really neat experience. And
Really?
yeah, so that's kind of just something neat for me. It's like, all right, yep, I'm doing something. This is going.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
yeah.
It's like different color chakras and everything.
Yeah. So.
So you're in the zone too at that point.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, I'm right over the top of it. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
sometimes
that
I
makes
get more
sense.
out of it than you guys do.
Hey, I mean that's cool. That's cool. That's happened to me once when I was doing the sensory deprivation tank,
Mm.
my first time, and I started tripping out. But I wasn't on any substances, nothing, and then I
Right.
just started seeing color because
Yeah.
I've never experienced that before.
Yeah, just puts you
Yeah.
in that, like, opens you up to that state, and that's really kind of what the sensory deprivation is all about. Is it's you're depriving all of your physical senses,
Mhm.
and so you begin to be more in tune with your more of your non-physical senses, more of that sixth sense type of thing.
Nice, interesting,
So
cool. You want to play something really quickly?
sure, I would love to.
Yeah. I'm gonna put one here. I'll put one of these. Yep. Yep. That's how it sounds. It's actually pretty cool when you're in the room and you listen to it for about an hour straight.
Yeah.
It completely calms you down. I just felt a little calmer right now listening to it.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah, it doesn't. Anything else for people that really like this type of things? Do you have any advice for them to come to your class?
I would say,
Come check it out.
yeah, come to a class. If not mine, find one in your area. Find somebody that you connect with,
Mhm.
and be there in person. It's a much different experience being in the room where the vibration can move through your entire body versus listening it through headphones where it's just going through your ears.
Yeah.
And that can be very relaxing just because of the sounds involved, or just a relaxing sound. And so, like, there is still benefit for that for your meditation purposes, but actually being in the room, having these vibrations flow through your body and be able to affect your full body is really where it's at. So
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain it when you talk about it until you feel it.
Yeah.
It just feels like, for me, it feels like someone's giving me a massage as I'm laying down.
Yeah.
Without someone touching me. And it just, that good feeling you get?
Yeah.
Or right after the massage?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it feels.
Yep.
But no one's touching me.
Yeah.
So it's just sound. Maybe there is sound touching me. There's frequencies. So yeah, I mean, there's different frequencies hitting me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Would you recommend that more people do it during the day, in the morning, in the evening?
I would say it kind of depends on what you want. If you want something to help boost your day,
Mm-hmm.
come in and do it in the morning.
That helped me.
Yeah.
With the chick.
Yeah, and then I don't know, like if you have a hard time sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
well, actually one in the morning will help you sleep better too. But like, especially if you find yourself having a really hard time like shaking off the day, then go to an evening one where you can like let it just clear the day from you, and then you can then help you just ease into your evening and into your sleep pattern. So
that makes sense because you're more calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else? Anything interesting? Like, have you heard any stories from other people that like interesting things have happened to them? They've healed.
A lot of people will report like just their hands vibrating. Like
I felt
going in.
Yeah, I kind of felt that.
I've had people report like temperature changes, like during it, like maybe it was a little bit cold, and then during it, like they were just like super warm, and then after it was over, it's like, oh, it's still cold in here. Or sometimes the opposite, where it's like warm, and they're like, you see them like cuddle up in a blanket because they're feeling chilled because that energy is flowing out.
Okay. Can you get too much of it?
No.
Is that possible?
No.
Because your class, okay, so I came in here Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You were from 10 to 11. I had a really good experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 11 to 12, took a little break, came back at 12. And I couldn't go into that state, like where I just like snapped and then you're like, it's over. I couldn't get into that. I was thinking the whole time.
Right.
You think it's me or what? What's going on? I mean, because every time I meditate, I don't always like flow.
Right.
Like,
right.
So your class, I flowed. And in the second part, I don't know what happened. I didn't flow.
And that could be because I actually know the one you're talking about, and it's a much different experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually love going to his classes because it is such a different experience.
It wasn't him though.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was somebody else.
Oh.
I we're not gonna name him anyway. But yeah. But yeah. I know what you're talking about. It was not him.
Okay. So yeah, it could just be.
It was a sound bath class, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it could be something kind of on the same level as, like, you get a full night's sleep and then turn around an hour later and try and take a nap, and you're like just gonna lay there because you're not tired.
That could be it. Maybe it was just me.
Could be the same type of situation where Like when I hear somebody say like too much, in my mind, I'm thinking, could it become harmful?
No,
Right.
no, no, not
Yeah.
harmful.
Yeah. So, I mean, and so when I say no, then like, yeah, no, you're not. Like, you could go to one every hour, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. It's not. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean any harm. It's just I
Yeah.
was just laying down.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, there would be a point where um, you're just tuned. And so you're not going to feel much of a difference. And that's the one thing for me is, you know, when I'm looking at how beneficial something is, it's how
Increments.
do I feel before versus how do I feel after,
Oh, I felt great after.
right? Yeah. And so, like, before I try anything new, I'll always take like a mental checklist of, okay, where am I at emotionally, mentally, um, vibrationally,
Hmm.
and then at the end, I'll do another check in and be like, okay, where am I at? And is there a difference? And is it for the better? Right? So it's like if you go from, say, like 0 to 10, and then, you know, like if you peak out at like 11
Hmm.
and you've gone from 0 to 10, and then you go to another one and you go from 10 to 11, you're not going to feel
Yeah,
much
yeah,
of
I
a
get it.
shift because you've already done like that big shift
That makes sense.
before.
That makes sense. Cool. I mean, but it felt good. Okay. Everyone, I recommend you come check out his class. I mean, I love it. I come here as often as I can. I mean, work schedule sometimes busy.
Yeah.
But it really helps me. He's a super nice guy.
Thank you.
He helps when he even came out here. And he played some music for us. Actually, it's not music. It's more frequency. Can it be music or no?
I try to add a little musical element into it
Okay.
because I am a musician and an entertainer as
Okay,
well. So like,
nice.
I do like to add that aspect. So
Cool. So if you want to come down and be fine tuned and just relax, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, night, you're always welcome to. Or you can hire the guy.
yeah.
He's great. All right. Cool, brother. Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.